Arnab Goswami on the debate at 9. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Century Ply and JK Tires.
Good evening and welcome, viewers. Oh, it's certainly getting much hotter politically, isn't it? Arvind Kejriwal has today effectively pitched himself as a prime ministerial face. Can you believe it, viewers? For 2024. He's made it clear he wants to be prime minister. He organized an event clearly competitive at a national level. And his launch pitch is the slogan, "Make India number one." Not terribly original, sounding much like Donald Trump's "Make America Great Again" slogan. It's quite clear that the Aam Aadmi Party intends to accelerate its growth on the political carcass of the Congress and try and race to get to the second highest number of seats nationally in the Lok Sabha elections. And it will do so by not entering into any pre-poll alliances and fight in as many places as possible directly one-on-one against the BJP. Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, maybe even UP, Gujarat for sure, Punjab, Delhi, to emerge as an alternative and try and amass enough votes nationally to be officially recognized as a national party by the Election Commission. And that is why in coalitions or fronts, you will find the Aam Aadmi Party is largely absent. It stands on its own, not with the other opposition parties, not with the BJP, on its own. On many issues, it works with opposition parties, but it is not part of their group. And that is where Kejriwal sees a chance of emerging as the main contender in the short term and a shot in national politics in the medium term. Now, viewers, Arvind Kejriwal is a very, very ambitious person. Nothing wrong with that. He's politically very ambitious for someone who once said, in fact, in an interview to me, that he would never join politics. But his political rise has been mainly on the back of what was a non-political anti-corruption movement. Why did people follow Arnab? Because he said, "I'm never in politics. I'm a force outside party politics." The issue was corruption, and Kejriwal benefited as a result of that movement. Today, with one minister in jail for serious corruption charges, another minister under a growing cloud, can Arvind Kejriwal really do well nationally by avoiding corruption as a main theme? Is he avoiding it because Mamta and Lalu, potential allies, are besieged directly or through their close associates with corruption charges? So is the NCP, Anil Deshmukh in jail, Nawab Malik in jail, the Congress party facing serious corruption charges. The second question is this: would both Nitish and Mamta, both being at least a decade and a half older than Kejriwal, and with more than 25 years more than him in politics, stand aside and say, "Mr. Kejriwal, please go ahead"? And if they don't do that, then what happens? More confusion. Having said all this, viewers, I bring you the big picture every night, and the big picture is that it is getting hotter politically. People are beginning to openly unleash their ambitions, like Arvind Kejriwal today, who has made it clear he wants to be a prime ministerial face. What is my own view? My own view is clearly this: no party has a chance against the BJP in 2024 nationally unless they all come together, operational word being all, at least 80% of them, and form a massive national pre-poll alliance against the BJP. Then it's a fight. But viewers, for tonight, it's hashtag radar on 2024. So let's debate the radar on 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to enter into we're well into the second half of 2022, which means we're a 20-month run-up has started. Radar on 2024. 2024 on radar. Debate 1. Debate 2 tonight. I think both the government and the opposition, everyone's embarrassed themselves on the Rohingyas issue. My view is clear. There was no need for a cabinet minister to talk about resettling Rohingyas. And Is this one issue on which everyone talks but does nothing? Ladies and gentlemen, debate number 3 this evening, coming your way 10:30 p.m. Jungle Raj is back in Bihar. Your ministers who are absconding, who become law ministers. You've had politicians who are in jail, walking around, staying in circuit houses. Nitish Kumar, if this is your road to prime ministership, it's not going anywhere. And here are the headlines, ladies and gentlemen, this Wednesday evening on the Debate Tonight. Kejriwal begins some serious 2024 posturing, pitches himself as a prime ministerial candidate. BJP strikes back with more charges against the AAP as the Rohingyas become the latest flashpoint. Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri's tweet sparks a storm, but the MHA says no flats for Rohingyas. Jungle Raj returning in Bihar. New Bihar law minister faces an arrest warrant, is termed an absconder and is sworn in. And it's raining as usual. Cash and scams in Bengal. 17 crore seized from top Trinamool leader Anumbharta Mandal's accounts. And the face-off over Savarkar intensifies. The video emerges of an SDPI man instigating 2 days before the violence. And ladies and gentlemen, Arvind Kejriwal has made his open bid, it seems, for prime ministership. He wants to be seen as the PM face in 2024. He's thrown his hat into the race without once saying so in as many words. But he is not the only one now getting seriously in the 2024 race. They're not saying it, but they're all in the race. From Mamata Banerjee is in the race. Nitish Kumar is in the race. KCR, who himself faces a tough state election, but he's also in the race. The contenders, ladies and gentlemen, are plenty. But when it comes down to it, do they have a clear stand on real issues? Do they have a clear position on issues like corruption or the Uniform Civil Code? Is the BJP rattled? Can they form a all India coalition? Viewers, 2024 on radar. Let's debate.
देवियों सज्जनों, आपके सामने हम सबके लोकप्रिय मुख्यमंत्री.
He walked onto stage with the Tiranga in hand. The backdrop was the tricolour. And 4 words, make India number one. And the messaging was lost on no one. Arvind Kejriwal was pitching himself in the race for 2024.
हमें भारत को वापस दुनिया का नंबर 1 देश बनाना है. वी हैव टू मेक इंडिया ग्रेट अगेन. तो आज हम एक राष्ट्रीय मिशन की शुरुआत करने जा रहे हैं और उस मिशन का नाम है मेक इंडिया नंबर 1.
He spoke of a national alliance.
मैं पूरे देश में जाऊंगा, पूरे देश के कोने कोने में जाऊंगा, लोगों को जोड़ूंगा और 130 करोड़ लोगों का अलायंस बनाएंगे. 130 करोड़ लोगों को इस मिशन से जोड़ेंगे और जब 130 करोड़ लोग जुड़ गए तो भारत को सर्वश्रेष्ठ राष्ट्र, शक्तिशाली राष्ट्र बनने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता.
This mega pitch comes at a time when Kejriwal's government is facing big corruption questions.
कि दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने अपने ऑर्डर में ये कहा 16 करोड़ 39 लाख का काला धन हवाला ऑपरेटर्स के सौजन्य से, उनकी मदद से सत्येंद्र जैन ने 4 शेल कंपनीज में दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट के इस ऑर्डर पर केजरीवाल जी आपने अब तक क्यों चुप्पी साध रखी है?
Interestingly, Kejriwal, who rose to prominence on the back of the India Against Corruption movement, did not once mention corruption as a theme in his 18-minute-long address. However, 3 days ago, the Prime Minister did.
जब तक भ्रष्टाचार और भ्रष्टाचारी के प्रति नफरत का भाव पैदा नहीं होता है, सामाजिक रूप से उसको नीचा देखने के लिए मजबूर नहीं करते, तब तक एक मानसिकता खत्म होने वाली है.
And perhaps even more interestingly, the BJP chose today to launch this attack on Kejriwal.
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी का एक काम, उनके कुछ और साथियों का एक काम और पार्टी का एक काम। कहां से चलता है सर? कतर से चल रहा है, लिथुआनिया से चल रहा है और अमेरिका से चल रहा है कि जो 1,51,564 करोड़ रुपए का कुछ हिसाब नहीं मिल रहा है, बैलेंस शीट नहीं दे रहे हैं, कहीं इन्हीं पैसों से आप भारत विरोधी ताकतों को मजबूत तो नहीं कर रहे हैं।
20 months to go for the general elections, and all parties have put 2024 on the radar.
Essentially, JP Nadda bringing in an inclusion story in the two apex bodies of the BJP as the party heads into another round of elections over the next couple of years.
Nitish Kumar has his eye on the prime ministerial race.
इतना तो जरूर कर दीजिए ना कि 14 में जो आए 24 तक के आगे रह पाएंगे कि नहीं रह पाएंगे।
But those taking oath in his cabinet are allegedly absconders from the law.
इस कार्तिकेय सिंह पर 2014 में एक किडनैपिंग का मामला दर्ज है और ये सारी चीजें मुख्यमंत्री की जानकारी में हुई है। तो जिस व्यक्ति को न्याय के मंदिर में जाकर सरेंडर करना था वो राजभवन पहुंच गया और शपथ ले रहा है, उसको कानून मंत्री आपने बना दिया।
Mamata Banerjee is setting her 2024 plan in action.
মানুষের এই বৃষ্টি বিজেপিকে 24 সালে ভারতবর্ষ থেকে ভাসিয়ে নিয়ে চলে যাবে।
But now carries the weight of the mountains of cash found with those linked to her close aide Partha Chatterjee. And then there is the Vadra Congress launching pan-India yatras.
We will launch a national Kanyakumari to Kashmir Bharat Jodo Yatra.
As parties gear up for the Lok Sabha elections, all eyes will be on who really sustains the momentum right up to 2024, especially against Modi. Let's debate.
And viewers, Dr. Syed Zafar Islam of the BJP, R. Rajagopalan, senior journalist, Rajat Sethi, political analyst, Sandeep Ghosh, political commentator, Karthik Reddy, spokesperson of the TRS. We have Lokesh Jindal of the Congress, and we will be joined in a minute by Dr. Shantanu Sen of the TMC and Reena Gupta of the Aam Aadmi Party. I'm just waiting for them to be lined up. Let's open the conversation. I think it's quite direct. Mr. Rajagopalan, he has made it quite clear that he wants to be Prime Minister. And why not? Why not? It's a completely legitimate ambition. Apart from saying so, I think today it was quite clear. What do you think?
Arnab, Arvind Kejriwal started with the slogan of anarchism, anarchist. He himself claimed that he's an anarchist. But today he speaks about, patriotism. He speaks about, nationalism. My understanding, Arvind Kejriwal's entry will rattle Rahul Gandhi first, second Congress, third, he has been involved in major scams. You push the hashtag as radar, but he is flying low radar. The reason being, if you look at the nominations of Rajya Sabha, that will give you a MRI of his mindset. All of them maximum from one particular thing. And second thing, I don't want to elaborate it further. 2024 is going to be Modi versus 8 regional parties, no Congress, no Rahul Gandhi. 2014 and 2019, Congress was glued to the opposition unity. That scene is gone now. Arnab, you did interview with Rahul Gandhi in a previous channel. On that day, I said Congress will go to 2 digits. Now I am afraid in 2024, Congress may not touch single digit, as Hemanta Biswa Sarma stated to you in an interview. My understanding of politics is, if Congress gets 150 seats and left gets 60 seats, regional parties get 100, that comes to 310, then there is a reformation of UPA. That is not going to happen. As in your introduction remark, you said,
BJP is going to sweep. I estimate that BJP will touch 315 to 320 in 2024 if the present state of mind is available in another 1 year's time.
Reena Gupta, the pictures are so telling. I'd like to run the pictures today, viewers. Arvind Kejriwal comes on a stage. There's a band behind him. There's a loud, evocative, master of ceremonies who says, now on the stage, ladies and gentlemen, your favorite leader. And he walks in with the Tiranga in his hand, and everyone's waving the Tiranga. Beautifully managed event. And what a slogan, I must say, Reena. Make India number one. It sounds so much. Let's take the pictures of today, please. Sounds so much, resonates exactly like Donald Trump. Of all the people, I would have hardly thought that the AAP would be inspired by Donald Trump. This sounds like Make America Great Again, Make India number one. Fantastic. It's all started, isn't it? Why didn't he just officially declare himself a prime ministerial candidate? That would have been even better, wouldn't it have been? I mean, you could have just declared yourself the prime ministerial candidate. Why not?
Arnab, so the campaign that has been started today is an apolitical campaign. This is the campaign for nation building. Rashtra Nirman. Let's all energies, all positive energies, all of us who believe that India should be number one country in the world. Let's all come together, Arnab. And I encourage people like you also to join us in this campaign. Why is it that after 75 years after independence, Arnab, why is it that we are not a number one country? There is no lack of resources. There is no lack of intelligent people. The only thing which is lacking is all of us coming together and keeping just one thing in mind. Let's not quarrel with each other. Let's not fight with each other. Let's all come together and make the country great. It is as simple as that. But the problem is that most parties, Bharatiya Janata Party or Congress, beyond winning elections,
right,
सिर्फ उसके अलावा कुछ बात ही नहीं करना चाहते हैं. What has Bharatiya Janata Party done in the last 8 years except bringing down democratically elected governments in various states? अब आप जीत के तो आ गए. इस देश के 130 करोड़ लोगों ने आपको अपना आशीर्वाद भी दे दिया. और 8 साल में आपने उस आशीर्वाद का क्या किया? प्रधानमंत्री जी आके फिर से कह रहे हैं कि मैं चाहता हूं 130 करोड़ लोग मुझे आशीर्वाद दें. अरे सर, हमने 130 करोड़ लोगों ने आशीर्वाद दिया था 8 साल पहले. उसका क्या नतीजा निकला?
Arnab, can I just respond to this,
हमारे
please?
स्कूल बदले, हमारे अस्पताल बदले, हमें नौकरी मिली, कुछ चेंज हुआ?
No, but I'll tell you. First of all, Reena, I want to tell you this, that why I say that Arvind Kejriwal beat I.K. Gujral. Because I.K. Gujral said, I don't want to be Prime Minister. Arvind Kejriwal went a step further when he said, I don't even want to join politics. And he said, I swear I will not join politics. And even at that point, please, if you remember, go back and see my interview with him when he told me I will not join politics. I swear absolutely on television I will not join politics. And I felt rather befuddled because I felt there is no need for him to be so defensive about it. And even today I would say to you, Reena, there is no need for you to be so defensive in acknowledging that this is a campaign. There's a political campaign. I mean, come on. We are not in kindergarten. You think this is some NGO being run? No, it's a political party with political ambitions, and I think we should be a little straightforward and, if I may say so, honest about it. Yes, we are making a pitch. Yes, we are projecting Kejriwal as a face. We have an alternative view. It's a political campaign. Kindly don't tell me that this is a cultural campaign. Please, it's not. We all know it's not. If I open the phone lines right now, Reena, people will tell you it's not. Say, yes, it is political or not. And I will say to you, fantastic, Reena, but don't say, please don't say it's a cultural campaign. Zafar is responding to you. Zafar.
Thank you, Arnab. First of all, let me tell you very candidly that in 2013, he used the equity which Anna Hazare had built over years. He used his equity to serve his political ambition. while he always said and maintained that he will not join politics, but in 2013 he entered politics, he ignored Anna Hazare and his advice, entered into politics. He was successful at that point in time purely because he was backed by somebody who had huge credentials and credibility in the eyes of the people of this great country. But now, Mr. Kejriwal has lost all his credibility. There's a big dent. Let me tell you, whatever promises he had made, that there'll be schools in Delhi, everywhere, every village will have schools in Delhi. But what happened? You have a liquor shop in every nook and corner in Delhi, but there is no schools. He had made so many commitment at that point in time, but none he has achieved. So one commitment he make a lot of promises, but when the time comes to deliver, he doesn't deliver. He doesn't believe in delivery, but he moves to another promise, and that is what he has done today. He may have aspiration, he may have ambition to become Prime Minister of this great country, but he has to also assess his own equity and the credentials, credibility. He is competing with somebody like Honorable Prime Minister, who has the approval rating of 74% of this people of the country. He has been liked by and admired by a sizable number of people. You go to every nook and corner, people will say that the Honorable Prime Minister enjoys the support and confidence of people purely because of his credibility and credentials, which he has been able to prove and build equity over a period of time, and he has never dented because he
you are seeing him position himself for Prime Ministership as a prime ministerial face, Zafar? You acknowledge that today? Do you acknowledge that you
no, not at all. No, even...
He is, obviously he is. Why? What do you think?
Not at all. Let me tell you that even if he...
Let's be a little... You see, here we have to be straightforward with each other. What we say in our drawing rooms, we must say on television.
Arnab, I'm very straightforward.
He's positioning himself.
I must...
And he's positioning himself.
He's positioning.
Yes.
He's positioning. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Whether... He is positioning himself and he has this aspiration and ambition.
Clear.
But tell me how many such leaders we have in opposition? Many. Everybody is aspiring to become Prime Minister.
Point.
That is a different point.
On that,
how much vote share he has?
No, that is a different point. You are saying there are too
how much
many
vote share he has?
Karthik,
will he compete with
Karthik? That's true. Even KCR has aspirations. He's been going around trying to stitch alliance. I'm sure not for charity. Mamata Banerjee has aspirations. Nitish Kumar has aspirations. Even Rahul Gandhi continues to retain aspirations. I'm told today the Bihar Congress chief said that Rahul Gandhi is a candidate for Prime Ministership. You know, there are so many people in the race. I mean, of course, there are aspirations. When you see these pictures of Arvind Kejriwal, what comes to mind? He's not doing a non-political event, is he? He's pitching himself. Isn't he pitching himself nationally?
He's not doing any non-political stuff, Arnab, and we are all smart enough to realize that. Good evening. And it kind of brings a chuckle to my face when the BJP spokesperson talks about deliverance politics. He spoke about what Kejriwal promised in his election and what was not delivered.
Yes.
And let me remind the nation through the BJP spokesperson that even the Prime Minister, even in his 2014 campaign, has promised the heaven and delivered nothing. Arnab, if you kind of closely notice the Prime Minister's 15 August ka speech, there was an underlying tone which was clearly stating any commoner can become anything in this country. And if a chief minister of a state like Delhi or if a chief minister like state like Telangana, mind you, have started from the scratch from their political journey, aspire to be the Prime Minister of this country, there should be nothing wrong. I think we should be proud of our politics. We should be proud of our democracy. When people like Arvind Kejriwal and KCR and Mamata Banerjee and other people aspire to be the Prime Ministers of this country, we should be very proud of our democracy. Even our Honorable Prime Minister takes very pride from where he started from a very humble beginnings. So I believe there's nothing wrong in all these people trying to be.
Can you confirm my source-based information that KCR is launching a national party, rebranding it very soon, and that work has started for it, fundraising has already happened, and it is going to be a launch pad for his own prime ministerial aspirations. I'm 90% sure of my leads on this, and you can be also candid with me. And by the way, I think it'll be completely legitimate if he does so. Reena, don't look so worried.
Yeah. No, kind of holding back. We are a regional party with national ambitions, Arnab.
Yes.
And we are not trying to hide it.
Yes.
We believe that South India is not being represented well in national politics in the last 75 years. So we are a regional party with national ambition, and there should be, as I said, there's nothing wrong. All parties in this country should aspire to be to reach Delhi. So I believe there's nothing wrong in what.
No, absolutely nothing wrong. So you are confirming.
There's one more point.
So Mr. Rajagopalan, that's a confirmation. I mean, in journalistic terms, I feel that's a what do you think? This is a confirmation that KCR is launching a party which he says is going to be the voice of the South, Southern party. But at the same time, he says we have national aspirations. They're going to be launching that soon. So soon we could have a similar event.
He's confirming your stance.
Absolutely, he's confirming.
And KCR stayed in Delhi for 4 days. He tried to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Right.
Apart from that, Arnab, my understanding is TRS spokesman is wrong. 5 years you had PV Narasimha Rao. We had Devagowda. Don't say South Indians are ignored.
Out of 75 years, how many years have we been Prime Minister, Rajgopal?
Arnab, can you ask him a question? Pose him a question.
PV Narasimha Rao was there.
How many seats they are going to win?
How many? Who are you asking? AAP or TRS?
Congress.
No, TRS.
TRS, okay. You are challenged.
We are surely going to win more seats than you in our state.
Or AAP. Both. They are not going to get more than, they have not got more than 2% vote in 2019 election. How many AAP got one? Few seats TRS have got.
Yeah, but you also got, Zafar, did you reach 20% in 2009? Yes. You weren't even 20% in 2009?
All I'm trying to tell you.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that politics, things can change.
All I'm trying to tell you, Arnab, I am taking a leaf from the survey which is being done by an independent agency. They are projected to win only 8 seats in Telangana. On the basis of that, if you have, on the back of that, you have aspiration to become Prime Minister, I don't know how to respond to that ambition. And Kejriwal ji have only got 1 seat in 2019, less than 1% vote, and still he has the aspiration. You have to also realize.
Karthik or Reena, who's responding?
How far you are from
both?
Give me a minute.
Okay, Karthik first. Reena, let Karthik go first. This is very interesting, viewers. You see the whole game open up before you on the program tonight. And my job here at Republic is to keep you ahead of the leads. And viewers, you will remember this. The day KCR launches his national party, his national platform, that you heard it first here on Republic. Yes, Karthik, please continue. Yeah.
Whenever we hear BJP spokesperson talk like 2024 is a bygone conclusion, it reeks of arrogance, not confidence, Arnab. Let me remind the nation what happened after emergency when Mrs. Srimati Indira Gandhi went for elections. I want to remind you today that there was no opposition party then, and there was no consensual leader then. What happened to Rajiv Gandhi when VP Singh became the Prime Minister? So please, I want to kind of suggest to the BJP spokesperson, your arrogance is being noticed by this country.
Can I just respond briefly?
You can respond. I'll also invite Rajat and then Sandeep into the debate. Please respond. I also have a point to make. Reena, I'm just coming to you right after his response. I'm just keeping on tossing it. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Say it is not arrogance. Let me tell you very candidly and honestly, it's not arrogance. It is primarily based on the feedback and the survey which is being done by independent agencies.
So please.
Independent agencies.
Sir, you suddenly have a lot of faith in surveys.
300 plus seats. Secondly,
so you have faith in surveys now?
Mechanism. We connect with our own booth level.
Whenever we put out surveys, you say it's rubbish.
We have always faith because it gives. No, we get direction. We have never discounted it. We get a direction. But having said that, we have our own independent mechanism, and we get feedback from our ground through our Panna Pamuk. And that is something which we rely on because they are the ones who are our
Zafar,
they work on the ground. And
yeah, but Zafar now.
Can I respond?
Zafar, let me broad base it.
More seats in 2024.
No, well, let me broad base it, Zafar. I'm coming to Reena. Reena, it's your turn next, I know, and I'm coming to Rajat after Reena and Sandeep. I want to make one point. You see, Reena, our friend mentioned emergency, Karthik. 1977, negative vote. 1989, negative vote, united opposition. 1977, negative vote, united opposition. 2014, yes, positive for Modi, but also negative to Congress. So negative vote and strong opposition. 2024, where's the negative vote? Sandeep, is there a negative vote? Is there a negative vote? Would anybody believe that there is a negative vote to the BJP today? Negative vote to Modi today?
So
where is it? Sandeep goes first. Yes, Sandeep.
Yeah, see, today there will be no negative vote also because rather than an anti-incumbency, each of the regional parties don't really have any incumbency in their favor. People can make all kinds of claims, like Arvind Kejriwal makes about Delhi being a model state, Mamata Banerjee makes it about West Bengal. But these are all, we know, these are just hollow claims. People, if you really get into the depth of it. But the point, Arnab, is not that. And I don't know why Zafar is trying to prove that they will win or nobody is a competition if they do well and good. I don't think they need to get defensive. And neither should we be dismissive of any of the other people. Everybody has, I think, we said has a right to be a prime minister. And from if they can get their act together, so be it. Now, since we're discussing Arvind Kejriwal, I'd like to make a couple of points, Arnab. We all know that he is an extremely smart and intelligent operator. Like you mentioned, he rode piggyback on Anna Hazare. At that point in time, if I remember right, he even swore by his children that he's not going to join politics. Then he joined politics and blah, blah. So, and we see how he shifts the goalposts. And one beauty, Arnab, you will see as far as Arvind Kejriwal is concerned, unlike the others, everybody gets defensive on any criticism. Arvind Kejriwal, you criticize him for no schools or, no medical facilities. He just ignores that and moves into another thing and tells, in turn, Narendra Modi, central government should learn from Delhi on how to manage education, how to do this, and moves on. So he is really in a spree to create, whether you call it an aura and space or whatever, trying to build his image. What goes in his favor, Arnab, unlike the other people you mentioned, he is young. So his, he might try to pitch for 2024, but 2024 may not be his end game. Whereas for all the other people, as I keep repeating, for them, 2024 is very much, the sell-by date. So Arvind Kejriwal can afford to raise his national profile in 2024, not win, even assuming he thinks another opposition coalition would going to come through. That opposition coalition can get dismantled, and then he will position himself as the national alternative. So he has got a longer-term game plan.
So you're saying you're saying, and that's a point. That's a point. Fair point. The point being made today is that Arvind Kejriwal is relatively young. He's a little older than Rahul Gandhi. I think he's about 54 or 55 years old. So he's got time on his side. So he's playing for the long term. However, I feel that he's not playing on the right pitch. However, I feel he's not playing on the right pitch. I welcome Shantanu Sen. I just one point. You see, Arvind Kejriwal's freshness was on the issue of corruption. And I don't know, Rajat, what you thought, but Reena, I found it absolutely baffling. There was no mention of corruption. Why?
He will move away.
Why is there no mention of corruption? Is it because Satyendra Jain is in jail? He's afraid somebody else will go into jail? Is it because tomorrow you may have to do business with Lalu, who's convicted? Or Mamata, whose leaders are getting crores from their apartments found on a daily basis? Why is he refusing to make corruption the key issue?
But he will move away from that. Arnab.
No, he can't move away from that. People remember. People remember.
One point I'll mention.
No, Sandeep, people have a long memory as well. This is recent history. So why is corruption missing as a theme, Reena? Reena and Rajat. Reena versus Rajat. Reena first. No, Reena first. Reena and Rajat. Reena first.
Yeah, but he is to his credit. He is going all over India, and look at Rahul Gandhi. He is not even.
No doubt. No. He's made it. No, Rahul Gandhi. Let's mention the better. Let's mention the better. Let's talk about serious politicians. Reena, why is corruption missing?
So Arnab, first of all, to respond to your point and other panelists' point about not getting into politics. Arnab, when we started the India Against Corruption movement, we were not planning to get into politics. हमारा कोई इच्छा नहीं थी politics में घुसने की. But all of you all kept taunting कि करके दिखाओ. हमने पार्टी बनाई, दिल्ली में चुनाव लड़े. दिल्ली में चुनाव जीते और दिल्ली में करके दिखाया.
Please, one second. No, one minute. Reena, I'll have to stop you right there when you said, listen, Reena, as you very well know, 1 minute. I'll have to place the record straight. When India Against Corruption happened, viewers, I supported it. Everybody knows that. With all my heart, Rajagopalan says I supported it. But 1 second. One second. I also felt that each one of these individuals out there is not speaking the truth. Prashant Bhushan, politically ambitious. Yogendra Yadav, politically ambitious. Kiran Bedi, politically ambitious. Arvind Kejriwal, very politically ambitious. Kumar Vishwas, politically ambitious. All very politically ambitious people. Put Anna Hazare in front. Anna Hazare didn't know what was going on. The issue was more important than the individual. We supported the issue. Now, please do not say that we or any of us who supported the fight against corruption compelled Arvind Kejriwal to enter politics. Please take the responsibility on yourself and please continue. Yes, please respond and Rajat will come in after that. My central issue remains corruption. Corruption. Where is the issue of corruption today?
Yes. Arnab, even 2 days ago, Mr. Kejriwal did a press conference and he spoke about corruption. He spoke about how Bharatiya Janata Party is making sure that the friends of Bharatiya Janata Party, जो दोस्तवाद की राजनीति चल रही है भारतीय जनता पार्टी में, we spoke about corruption. Corruption is the key issue, Arnab. Unless we root out corruption from this country, we will not be able to make sure that each one of us, each citizen of this country has access to basic health, basic education, unless you get rid of corruption. Because what is happening right now is that all the resources, all the budget meant for these schemes is being squandered away in Dostwad, which Bharatiya Janata Party is an expert on.
Prime Minister Modi on the 15th of August.
2 days ago, we...
Rajat will respond. Zafar, just wait a minute. When she finishes, Zafar is countering you. Reena, Zafar has not spoken since the start. It's 9:38 p.m. I should give him an opportunity to respond to you. Rajat first. Rajat responding to Reena.
Political debate. Don't make it... Yeah, please. See, here there are 2 or 3 important things that one needs to keep in mind, and let me bring some energy to the debate. One thing is Arvind Kejriwal going to publicly announce that he will be the Prime Minister candidate for 2024? He cannot do that blunder. The moment he utters his
why can't he?
In public,
why can't he, Rajat?
Because then it will become a referendum. Let me come to that point. It's an important point. The moment he gets into a comparison with Prime Minister Modi, there will be a referendum on that, and he knows the end outcome of it. What he wants to do is basically scavenge upon the vote share of Congress party, which is up for grabs. It's up for grabs around the country. There are a lot of small parties which are coming up with greater ambition who would want to chew up on the vote share of Congress party. Gujarat is a ripe state. Himachal Pradesh is absolutely ripe. So is Uttarakhand, wherein Congress party is in a perpetual decay. It is these states where Arvind Kejriwal is strategically trying to grow his footprint. I don't think he's aiming at 2024. In 2024, he does want to be a principal opposition party with a greater vote share than the Congress party. Even if he achieves this much, it's a significant win for him. But the moment he tries to compare himself with Prime Minister Modi, he knows the public punishment that is going to accrue on him. He would not be able to come out of that political blunder. So he's not committing that. Now, given what has been, how has his political trajectory unfolded, we know what has happened in the state of Uttarakhand, where they were going to be the principal opposition, did not work out. Congress, though in a decaying state, I believe that Karnataka, there might be a rebound. You will see how Gehlot defends Rajasthan, what happens in Madhya Pradesh and in Chhattisgarh as well. So there is enough amount of leftover crumbs that Congress can still bundle together and become the focal point of 2024.
I will come to that.
By the way, you just mentioned about TRS's party in Delhi. Stalin has also opened a party office in New Delhi.
Sure.
Look at all of these.
Why not? Why not? I believe there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I believe that there'll be better federalism if the state parties, regional parties, have a presence in Delhi. Shantanu Sen, I began by making a comment. Shantanu Sen, Member of Parliament of the Trinamool Congress, is with us. Dr. Sen, I'd like your thoughts on today's event, where I believe Mr. Kejriwal has effectively declared himself as a prime ministerial candidate. He has announced a national mission, very well promoted, with all the insignia, the slogans. He says, I will make India number one. That is his slogan, very Donald Trump-like slogan, and sort of symbolism going on out there. And then he says that I will make a team of the entire country. In other words, he's positioning himself for a national presence, national politics. I would be very curious to know how the Trinamool Congress views this, given that till recently the Trinamool Congress saw a great opportunity in replacing the Congress, the Vadra Congress, as the principal opposition player in the country.
Thank you, Arnab. The words were his and the perception is yours. But as I am representing the third largest political party in the parliament, I must speak out my mind, which says the basic essence of Trinamool Congress. Trinamool Congress and our party supremo, Madam Mamata Banerjee's first and foremost ambition is to oust BJP from this country, to give a relief to the people of India at large. And that's why she has said several times, in this battle, in this great war, if needed, Trinamool Congress and Madam Mamata Banerjee is ready to play a role of the soldier sitting at the backbench even if needed. Because our first target is to oust BJP. And whoever will be the leader of the country, people will decide. Because I must tell you, in 2024, in the forthcoming parliament election, is going to be a battle between BJP and people of India at large. I repeat, it is going to be a battle between BJP and people of India at large, because in last few years, 20 political allies have left BJP. And in coming days, till we reach 2024, BJP will be left alone with his two allies, ED and CBI. You take it from me. So it's going to be a battle between BJP and people at large of the country. And after the election is over, people will decide who is going to be the leader of the country after 2024 parliament election.
But Dr. Sen, one response to you, please. May I just, before Dr. Zafar Islam comes in. Zafar Islam, just one question. I'm a student of history. I'm also a realist. Let me give you a historical example. When Julius Caesar wanted to take over Rome and remove Pompey, it was Julius Caesar who led the battle, not Mark Antony. They're both on the same side, but there was one leader. The opposition also is to decide within itself who's your Julius Caesar and who's your Mark Antony.
No.
There has to be one face.
No,
there has to be one face.
The situation is not same.
No, I'm just giving a history. It's only who's the leader? Because I see so many leaders. It's great.
Arnab, the leader will be chosen by the people. Arnab, kindly allow me to speak. Kindly allow me to speak.
Come, interesting.
The leader will be chosen by the people of this country, my dear.
Yeah, but
it's not the vote. It's not the vote to select the leader of the country.
But I think
the vote to oust BJP from India.
But I think
you take it from me.
But I think
it's not the vote.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But I however think, and Zafar, I however think, Lokesh next. I however think that the opposition will not have a chance unless it forms a national pre-poll alliance. This you will have to realize closer to 2024. What do you think, Lokesh? Especially the Congress should play a move to the back. Let the others take the stage.
Can I just respond to
No, 1 minute. Let's say Lokesh, everybody's in, then we have an open debate. Yeah.
Let me talk about some facts and data. In 2019 general elections, Congress still retained its social base. So it was still with its 20% of the percentage of voting for the Congress. And now when you're talking about Congress and its ideology, it still is the favorite amongst all the regional parties to come together as the opposition.
Really? Ask Reena, ask Karthik. You have declared yourself a favorite. I have three significant parties here, sir. Lokesh, 1 minute. This is where your Congress is presumptuous. 1 minute, Lokesh, 1 minute. We have three parties here on the program. Non-Congress, non-BJP, all significant players and all in power in their respective states. In the case of the AAP, 2 states. Which one of them feels that you are the chosen leader for them? Can you ask any one of them?
Let me.
No. Ask them in a live program. Ask them. You have given yourself the position of the leader of the opposition. Will TRS, TMC and AAP agree with you, or does that not matter? No, sir, ask them. You are out of sync. Congress is out of sync with the reality of this country. You ask AAP, ask TMC, ask TRS. Karthik is laughing at you. Karthik is laughing at you.
Is only having, he may laugh or he may display his expressions. But let me tell you, Aam Aadmi Party as a
Let me
political
remind you
party
what
has
Mark
its
Antony
social
was
place
doing.
only in the
One minute, Karthik.
It is successful in Delhi,
I don't believe it,
Punjab.
because I sometimes don't believe what I hear. I don't believe what I
However,
hear.
you cannot have Aam Aadmi Party successful in a rural social base.
I have to pinch myself to believe this is happening. I can't believe it. You are so out of touch. You're so out of touch. One minute. Zafar responding to the situation. And look how Zafar becomes happy at this. When Zafar sees the opposition fighting, he's beginning to beam tonight. Yes, Zafar. Yes, Zafar. What are you gloating about? What are you so happy about, Zafar?
Arnab, it is so apparent.
What?
I need to tell you. It is so apparent. See how they are fighting for their supremacy. You asked Mr. Dr. Shantanu Sen, what did he say? He said third largest party in the country in the parliament.
Yes, he said.
Meaning he is taking a claim. You asked TRS.
What claim? No. What claim? Shantanu versus Zafar directly. No, what is the claim? You tell Shantanu directly what do you mean by
that. Mamata Banerjee is the face of the opposition. Mamata Banerjee is likely to be the face of opposition.
Did he say that?
He is shying away.
Did he say that? Shantanu, did you say that? 1 minute, Zafar. Shantanu, did you say that? The national spokesman of BJP makes the claim tonight. You have a chance to correct it if he's wrong. 1 minute, Zafar. Shantanu has a right to rebut. Shantanu will rebut now. Rajat, wait. This is getting interesting. Shantanu rebut. No, wait. Listen to Shantanu. Listen to Shantanu. Very exciting.
He has to accept the truth.
Wait. Let Shantanu speak for himself. Yes, Shantanu.
You just rewind and you will come to know, and you will be sure that I haven't said this thing. I have said our first target is to oust BJP. Of course, we are the third largest party of the country. But our first target is to oust BJP.
Rajagopalan laughing. BJP, Rajagopalan on one side.
It's going to be the election between BJP
Reena and Shantanu on the right. 1 minute. Interesting. Rajagopalan.
Santanu, you kindly tell me, you just now said that 130 crore people will be enemy of Narendra Modi, and how many of them are with you? You tell me that.
Ask your opposition camp. All the opposition camp, they're here. Is she as an acceptable face?
In 2 minutes, Shantanu Sen changed his view. In 2 minutes, Shantanu Sen changed his view.
He's making that statement.
Okay, Reena, here's a question. When the opposition in this country finds itself unable to come together even in a vice presidential election, then what hope do we have in 2024? And Reena, why did Kejriwal not build a consensus and come on stage with maybe 10 leaders waving the national flag instead of him alone?
Arnab, you see how rattled Mr. Zafar Islam is. If they had done any good delivery of
Let Reena. Zafar, please. Zafar, let her. Now you're stopping her at the second sentence. Not right.
All I'm trying to say, I'm thrilled with joy. I'm happy.
Let her complete. I have limited time, please. 1 second.
You guys are fighting. That gives
Fascinating debate tonight. Reena, respond. Go on.
Can I respond?
Let's move fast. Yeah.
Because Mr. Islam also knows that they have not delivered on any of the promises that they made to this country. So many people had given them their vote, had reposed their faith in them, and they have not delivered on any of those promises. And that is the reason, on one hand, Mr. Zafar Islam keeps saying कि केजरीवाल कौन है, हम तो जानते ही नहीं हैं. On the other hand, the moment Mr. Kejriwal makes one statement, they do three press conferences in one day.
3 press conferences.
स्मृति ईरानी जी भी आ जाएंगी, ये भी आ जाएंगे, वो भी आ जाएंगे. एक तरफ तो आप कह रहे हैं कि केजरीवाल जी कौन है, आप पहचानते नहीं, आधा स्टेट है दिल्ली, आपने कुछ काम नहीं किया, तो फिर आप इतना ज्यादा डरते क्यों? क्योंकि आपको पता है आम आदमी पार्टी is the only party that is delivering on its promises. That is the reason you are rattled every time. Every time Mr. Kejriwal goes to Gujarat, you are rattled. Every time you go to Himachal
Okay, this has been. May I say this, Reena? Reena, listen. Reena, 1 minute. Reena, Karthik, Dr. Sen, Lokesh, Sandeep and Rajat know this. It becomes boring when it's one-sided. Today's been a fascinating debate. I say there's a fight. Let all the leaders come forward. But I also got a breaking news story about the TRS launching a national campaign. You should tell KCR to come here and declare it officially. And by the way, we should talk to Mr. Kejriwal also about his national ambitions. Viewers, it's getting hotter out there in national politics, isn't it? And on the other side tonight, a tweet by Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri on Rohingyas sparks an unexpected, massive political controversy. Are the Rohingyas getting flats? Or should they flat out be asked to leave the country? Big debate on the other side.
Enroll in any of REVA's wide range of courses designed to take on an evolving education and an expanding future. REVA University.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
The Amity BBA has been ranked India's #1 BBA in the recently released Times of India B School 2022 rankings, a testimony to Amity BBA's globally benchmarked standards in education.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
In Odisha's Bhadrak district, normal life of people has now come to a standstill as floodwater from Baitarani river has inundated several residential areas. The DM of the area was quoted as saying that 3 blocks in Bhadrak district have been affected due to floodwaters. Meanwhile, 80,000 to 90,000 people have been affected in this area.
3 ब्लॉक में अभी पार्टली कुछ पंचायत में बाढ़ का स्थिति है। हमारा धामनगर ब्लॉक, भंडारी पोखरी ब्लॉक एवं चांदवाली ब्लॉक। तो उस हिसाब से प्रशासन की तरफ से सारे स्टेप्स लिए गए हैं कि जहाँ पे बोट डिप्लॉयमेंट हो, साइक्लोन जो शेल्टर सेफ शेल्टर आइडेंटिफिकेशन हो, ये सारा चीज़ें किया गया है। हमारे फील्ड फंक्शनरीज सारे जीपी जो कट ऑफ हुए हैं वहाँ पे है। कॉन्स्टेंटली हम पीआरआई मेंबर्स के टच में भी है। अराउंड हम बोल सकते हैं कि 80,000 टू 90,000 लोग अफेक्ट हुए हैं जितना वो जीपीज में रहते हैं। बट अभी तक पूरा स्मूथ सारी चीज़ें कैसे रहते हैं उसका प्रशासन इंश्योर कर रहा है।
As part of massive manhunt launched for the killers of Kashmiri Pandit Sunil Kumar, hideout of inactive terrorist Adil Wani has now been busted by the State Forest Service officers in Shopian. CBI to most likely question Anubrata Mondal's daughter Sukanya Mondal in connection with a cattle smuggling case. According to sources, it is highly likely that the interrogation may take place today itself, as a team has already been moved to Bolpur in midnight. In the cattle smuggling case, the CBI has come across important information pertaining to role of Anubrata and his daughter with regard to amassing of properties amounting to crores of rupees. Leading milk suppliers Amul and Mother Dairy will increase milk prices by 2 rupees per litre starting today on account of rising input costs. This is in fact the second consecutive hike by Amul and Mother Dairy in nearly 6 months.
In other international stories, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accuses Russia of nuclear blackmail, calls for new sanctions to be imposed in response to it. Further, Zelensky warns the presence of Russian forces around Europe's largest nuclear power plant threatens Europe and beyond. Army 2022 exhibition, Russia unveils a military robot with an attached rocket launcher. Robot is a four-legged machine dubbed with M81, advertised as a combat unit capable of striking targets and transporting ammunition. According to sources, the robot was later found to have striking similarities to a Chinese model, available for purchase at an online.
A day after FIFA suspended All India Football Federation, the Supreme Court asked the government to take proactive measures to ensure holding of Under-17 World Cup. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court adjourned the matter till August 22. Jacqueline Fernandez was made an accused in the conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar case as ED names the actress in the charge sheet. The hearing is on August 31. Jacqueline is alleged to have received gifts worth over rupees 7 crore from Sukesh.
Enroll in any of Reva's wide range of courses designed to take on an evolving education and an expanding future. Reva University.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
The Amity BBA has been ranked India's #1 BBA in the recently released Times of India B School 2022 rankings. A testimony to Amity BBA's globally benchmarked standards in education.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
As part of massive manhunt launched for the killers of Kashmiri Pandit Sunil Kumar, hideout of inactive terrorist Adil Wani has now been busted by the State Forest Service officers in Shopian. CBI to most likely question Anubrata Mondal's daughter Sukanya Mondal in connection with a cattle smuggling case. According to sources, it is highly likely that the interrogation may take place today itself, as a team has already been moved to Bolpur in midnight. In the cattle smuggling case, the CBI has come across important information pertaining to role of Anubrata and his daughter with regard to amassing of properties amounting to crores of rupees. Leading milk suppliers Amul and Mother Dairy will increase milk prices by 2 rupees per litre starting today on account of rising input costs. This is in fact the second consecutive hike by Amul and Mother Dairy in nearly 6 months.
In other international stories, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accuses Russia of nuclear blackmail, calls for new sanctions to be imposed in response to it. Further, Zelensky warns the presence of Russian forces around Europe's largest nuclear power plant threatens Europe and beyond. Army 2022 exhibition, Russia unveils a military robot with an attached rocket launcher. Robot is a four-legged machine dubbed with M81, advertised as a combat unit capable of striking targets and transporting ammunition. According to sources, the robot was later found to have striking similarities to a Chinese model, available for purchase at an online shopping site. According to a statement by the European Commission, it said as several European countries endure high temperatures and a lack of rain, Europe could be facing its worst drought in 500 years. It also further stated that a definite answer for the same cannot be given at the moment. But according to current data presented, it looks like it might take a bad shape. Even